Sometimes I think of Venice as a sort of second skin, because being born here, you get to know every single stone, because the town doesn't change. My grandfather used to say when he was 90 years old, he could still find the place where he gave his first kiss when he was 18 years old. Everything was still there. My parents were so enthusiastic about Venice. When we were children, they kept saying how lucky we were to be born here, and even our teachers that would bring us see all the monuments and the history of Venice. So you grow up considering everything you see here is beautiful and is yours, belongs to you. And they teach you basically this, that you cannot be happy anywhere else. It's a sort of brainwash when you're a child. You're paralyzed. And actually, it's true. There's nowhere else where you can have these sort of I mean, Venice is visually rewarding more than any other place. It varies all the time with the light, and you have gorgeous colors and light. So you see the world comes and you feel it's the best place in the world. Until the 1980s, it was still like this. We were 150,000 residents down to the 1960s, and now we are 57,980. As a Venetian now, the town has changed, not physically. The town is gorgeous. It probably was never in a better shape than now, because with the money they had in the last decades with tourism, they could restore everything. But Venetian people have moved away. See, young people follow their jobs. Nobody remains in Venice. And the town is becoming like a gorgeous empty shell for tourists. They didn't invest a single euro in services for the residents. And I can really say that. I'm not scared to say it's really like that. Further now we have a kind of tourism, which is mass tourism, which is not necessarily tourism bringing quality and money to Venice, because 20 million tourists, the average tourist spends 4 hours in Venice. And it's sad for us, because when I was a child, you would have tourists staying here a week. So you could meet somebody, be friends, and then organize a dinner, party, something. Now, the people is in the street, you're not going to see them anymore the next day. It's a wonderful facade, but in the back, it's all organized for serving this fast kind of tourism, which doesn't want to go deep into the history of Venice like you now. And also, sometimes you really feel they come to Venice because it's fashionable, they want to tell their friends they've been in Venice, and then they arrive in Venice and they feel deceived because they only have seen Venice in the TV, and they show you Venice advertising, Venice everywhere, empty, silent and romantic, and then they arrive here and they found the crowds in St. Mark's Square, because they don't realize that they have to go beyond the square. They're all there. They spend their 4 hours there. So there's no way they can understand what Venice represented. In the history of Europe, Venice was really fundamental. You wouldn't understand Europe without understanding Venice. It's something hard, to put together the education of big masses of tourists who want to know something they don't really appreciate, because they cannot really have a reference to understand in a right perspective the value of what they see and the preservation of all buildings. So that's the problem of Italy. There's not enough money, and you know how to use that money. You have to use that money to improve the quality of life of people today, or to restore monuments from the past. That is the big problem that we have in this country. Whether I would stay in Venice the rest of my life is a difficult question to answer, because if I would move away, I would feel I would betray my origins, myself, and at the same time I suffer not to have my friends here anymore. It's a gorgeous place, but it lost its political role. It's just now a provincial town, although it's unique in its aspect, but it doesn't have any life of representation, which you would find in a capital with embassies and all sorts of offices. So Venice is like a wonderful museum town. So you really must choose Venice because you love it, you understand it, because you're an artist and you want to, and you're ready to live in the past, because the rhythm of time changes when you're here. So you really have to live as people did 50 years ago. I never learned to drive. I actually live most of my life in Venice, and you have no cars, no bicycles, no motorcycles here. So I don't know whether I'll stay here all the time, but it'll be difficult to live it. It's really like taking your skin out of you, so it'll be difficult.